this is going to be different this year. They're definitely going to play them all on the same line or on different lines, and it's going to be all this. Willie's going to play center. Martin's going to try center. Riley's going to be playing all, and then it's just the same damn thing. Like there's like a practice again today. Roll them back out there. Pair them up.
Chemistry.
Can't change the
great skill.
steering wheel.
Try something different.
Can't change the steering wheel on a jet and
Try
make it a Porsche.
anything else.
Like putting one of the Marner, Matthews, or
Three different
Nylander
lines.
on three
Yes,
different lines.
Please do it 4 different lines. I don't care.
They
Try
had-
something different
the
once.
power play early had to come off after a minute, and we'll send the second unit out, and it just seemed like
I mean,
it
the
was
power play is a totally different conversation to me.
no, but that's what you're speaking of. Just tighten up on maybe just going back to the basics.
Just make it feel like there's consequences for bad performances.
Well, there isn't.
There isn't. We only playing 22 minutes last night is insane.
That is pretty insane.
How does that happen?
Play him through it, I guess. All right.
All right, we'll take a quick break here. When we return, we'll get into much more, including the blue line, even the goaltending, and where we see the Hildebeest coming back into play here.
And it's also a mailbag day, too.
Mailbag.
And I have like 100.
Do you?
Yeah.
Good ones?
So, I mean,
Amazing.
there's some pretty good ones.
All right. Sammy's mailbag coming up next after the break. You're watching and listening to Real Kipper and Bourne. Welcome back to the Real Kipper and Bourne show. Now let's start a segment that is sweeping Leafland, if not the whole nation.
Oh, what's that?
McKee's Maple Leaf midweek mailbag. A lot of M's there.
Big fan of.
Because
A lot of M's.
McKee's bag didn't work as a label. So
Hey.
We didn't mention Morgan Riley in the first.
So
block,
hold on
I
for
got
a second.
we didn't mention anything.
Just hold on for a
Well, we
second.
yell at each other.
Yeah. There's listeners for the first time wondering what the heck I just said. So explain it to them so they can participate
So
in maybe future Wednesdays, midweeks.
This year, 2025, we're trying to keep the people more involved. So on Friday, we're doing the Leafs line where you can call in 416-413-4141. I think that's the number, if I'm remembering
I
correctly.
think it's 416-431-4141.
Anyways, I'll put it back up. Oh, it's 413. I was right.
Oh, my bad.
So 413-4141. You can leave us a voicemail.
That's for Fridays.
And on Wednesdays, I send out a tweet around 10 or 11. And you can text us too at 590-590. And I'll take your questions and stuff so we can keep people more involved.
Yeah,
keep them more fresh.
I want to be in touch with our awesome.
Yes.
So we don't have to text Luke Fox every other day being like, hey, buddy, can you come on? It's like we got to,
Talk to
it's
the
like
people.
going to bug everybody on the Leafs beat 3 times a week, talk to
And
everybody else a little
I
bit.
like this segment, but
Thank you.
for Fridays,
Buddies.
we actually get to hear real human beings leaving a message.
I'm sure that'll be really
just-
reasonable this
and
week.
capturing every fabric of how sad, pathetic, and desperate they are for the Leafs to win. And that's a refreshing change for us past Sammy.
That's right. It's nice to hear it from other voices.
But
Yes.
I want you guys to know that when I play those clips, like, it's not just me. Like, I am a reflection of an insane group of people.
I would say you're a reflection of an insane group of people.
Yes, that's what I said.
Not like an insanely large group, but like just you mean it that way. You mean like an insane group?
No, I mean, like, Leaf fans are delusional, passionate, incredible people that I am one of, and I wouldn't have it any other way. But sometimes I think you guys think that I'm just like
Delusional.
out on an island
That's
by
it.
myself.
Sometimes I do, yeah.
Just delusional.
Right. I'm not.
Not anything else. Just delusional.
There is one thing I am for sure, and it's delusional, boys. This is from Jacob, Bodmon Jake on Twitter.
Oh, Bodman.
Can Riley's struggle this season be at all attributed to him being a new father? I'd imagine parenting a newborn baby takes a lot of energy out of a person.
I'm going to leave this to my
No.
good friend JB because he is in touch with today's dad.
No.
I passed it.
Here's what
I'm long past it right now. I am so trying hard to
Kipper's
get
au
mine.
pairs from Sweden dealt with the kids in the night. Who are we kidding?
Theo, get up off the floor, stop playing with the dog, and go to school.
That's the way I used to talk to my kid. That was off of a morning show with Gord Stellick.
I don't know if it was Greg Brady, maybe. I forget who it was. Maybe it was Gord, too.
To be clear, I still talk to my kids. I talk to my kids like that today.
Landry and Stella.
So,
Oh, that's wrong. Okay, never mind.
but
What
here's,
was it? What
here's
was
the
it?
thing.
Anyways,
It was a morning show.
Derek's just buzzing in my ear, and it's Greg Brady.
Oh,
That's
Greg
right.
Brady.
That's
Okay.
right.
All right.
Early in the season, I said like he would have had a newborn the start of the year, basically. And I said that, yeah, like could have messed up his sleep a little bit. Could be part of the reason he's 5% worse. But then you figure out some rhythms. A few months in, the baby starts to sleep a little bit, whatever.
He's off to college. Come on. It's over.
We're like 5 months into the season. If he's still not sleeping, they got to find a new routine. Like they need a night nurse. They need a solution. So by now, I'm done giving him that pass. So I gave it to him early. I'm done with it now.
Has there been a worse stretch for him you can ever remember as a member of the Toronto Maple Leafs?
No, yeah. I mean, he's gone. We've had these conversations every year.
I
think it's been bad this year, maybe worse, but it's also like, what's the word I'm looking for here? Recency bias, where it's what we've watched most recently. But over the past few years, he's had some pretty down stretches in the regular season.
For me,
where we're like,
for
hopefully
Riley,
when you get to the playoffs, because he's good in the playoffs, and we always had those conversations. Go ahead, Barney.
For me with Riley, like when he's not great, sometimes you still don't notice him and not a ton happens. But like usually it's offset by some games where he's dynamic or exciting or makes some plays. And it's just been the absence of that greatness this year where it's like, where is those moments? There's been few and far between.
1 of 5 goalposts were hit last night by him.
Ripped it too. Good shot.
2 of those go in, we could be having a much happier show today. Leafs ride along. That's Leafs Nation, baby. It's literally a combined foot from being a happy show. This is from Leafs Ride Along on Twitter. Our 2 best playoff games under Keefe were when they won games 5 and 6 with a center quartet of Domi, Tavares, Holmberg, and Kampf. Target scoring more than center, Besser, Hall, and go get Bo Byram. Yes, that means Riley will be part of it. Send him out to Van. He'll be happy. There is something to that like the center depth or whatever, like you just need some guys that are going to score.
I feel like I don't understand the question.
Well, I don't think there's much of a question.
I'm with you.
I'm just saying, like,
so
the statement is that because everybody's talking about going and getting a new center.
Right? Yeah.
But he just said that their best games in 5 and 6, which were phenomenal defensive games, they played really well. They beat the Bruins 2 straight. Their centers were Domi, Tavares, Holmberg, and Kampf.
I think one of the things I want to beat back against is the idea that you don't need good players or you can survive without good players or, you look at.
And you go ahead and finish.
We had a board last night that the Leafs record is better without Matthews and without Marner and without Riley. And it's like, it's not, do you want to play with all bad players and see how that goes?
It's only an 800 winning percentage without Riley.
And I can appreciate that, like, you could be on fumes. You can go with a bad lineup and find a way to win a game or 2. But to suggest that you're going to win 2 or 3 rounds or a Stanley Cup with that list of centermen is like dream on.
Dream on. Like you're going to go up against Point, Cirelli,
Barkov,
Paul,
Lundell, Bennett.
Right. It's not feasible.
So
Bo Byram's not my answer.
I mean, Morgan played his best hockey 2 seasons ago in the first round where he outplayed Victor Hedman and was arguably the best defenseman on the ice. But
it's within him.
You gotta where that has gone right now, or how does he get it back? And for me too, and we give Craig Berube a lot of credit for that first half of getting him in the playoffs, or getting him into first place in the Atlantic Division. But he's going to have to come up with something to get some of these guys a little free and clear here. The being locked into just the style of play right now, like Craig Berube's got to take the same lineup and find different ways to get a lot more creative. There is no creativity. There is they're not making chances for themselves. You can sit there and say, hey, we defended well or we didn't, but you're not creating anything.
No, the expected goals for them in the last couple of games are below 2 both games.
That's why Morgan gets paid $7.5 million is to create. Mm-hmm. When I watch TSN last night highlight Philip Myers last night in the second intermission, it's because there's no one else that they can.
We've been there. It's like,
they can't.
Should we do a doer pack?
There's no one else.
Game. Yeah.
And
Put Myers in the
like
power play. Let him
Myers-
hammer it.
Sure.
listen, like Myers, okay, he's come a long way, but that's the best you got in the intermission. This team's in trouble.
Chris Versteeg and Francois Beauchemin to Los Angeles Kings, possible deal with Toronto Maple Leafs. In an interesting twist in the NHL trade market, new rumors are emerging about Chris Versteeg and Francois Beauchemin potentially being traded to the Los Angeles Kings. Sources indicate that the Kings, who have been one of the most active teams in recent weeks, are evaluating the possibility of bolstering their defense with Beauchemin, while Versteeg, who brings strong offensive capabilities, could be a key piece in a larger trade. This move becomes even more intriguing considering the Kings' surplus of offensive pieces available for trade, exactly what the Toronto Maple Leafs are looking for to strengthen their roster. It's speculated that with Versteeg included in the deal, the Leafs could be targeting a possible addition like Wayne Simmonds, along with a mid-range draft pick. This move makes sense given Simmonds' struggles this season, as he has yet to find his top form on the ice. To add more drama to the trade talk, there are even whispers that veteran defenseman Tomas Kaberle could be included, opening the door for a potential pursuit of Brayden Schenn. If completed, this move could have a significant impact on reshaping the Leafs lines and adding more depth to the team. Stay tuned for updates to see if these trades come to fruition and how they might shape the future of Toronto and Los Angeles this season. In an interesting twist in the NHL trade market, new rumors are emerging about Chris Versteeg and Francois Beauchemin potentially being traded to the Los Angeles Kings. Sources indicate that the Kings, who have been one of the most active teams in recent weeks, are evaluating the possibility of bolstering their defense with Beauchemin, while Versteeg, who brings strong offensive capabilities, could be a key piece in a larger trade. This move becomes even more intriguing considering the Kings' surplus of offensive pieces available for trade, exactly what the Toronto Maple Leafs are looking for to strengthen their roster. It's speculated that with Versteeg included in the deal, the Leafs could be targeting a possible addition like Wayne Simmonds, along with a mid-range draft pick. This move makes sense given Simmonds' struggles this season, as he has yet to find his top form on the ice. To add more drama to the trade talk, there are even whispers that veteran defenseman Tomas Kaberle could be included, opening the door for a potential pursuit of Brayden Schenn. If completed, this move could have a significant impact on reshaping the Leafs lines and adding more depth to the team. The Kings' situation is complex, as they are in the midst of a transitional period. Their aging roster, which includes a core group that led them to several successful playoff campaigns in the past, has seen some struggles in recent seasons. While there's a clear need for defensive help, Los Angeles may also want to improve their offensive consistency in order to make a deep playoff push. The combination of Beauchemin's defensive reliability and Versteeg's offensive upside could help the Kings balance their lineup. From the Leafs' perspective, this potential deal is about retooling for the future. The team is in a position to compete, but they also need to solidify certain areas on the ice. Adding a player like Wayne Simmonds could provide the grit and scoring touch that the team has been missing. Furthermore, acquiring a mid-range draft pick could help with future team-building efforts, as Toronto looks to remain competitive while still developing young talent. The inclusion of Kaberle in the trade package could be a strategic move for both teams. The veteran defenseman, who has been with the Leafs for a long time, has seen his role diminished in recent seasons. However, his experience and offensive abilities could be a valuable asset for Los Angeles, who could use a steady presence on the blue line to help their younger players develop. The talk surrounding Brayden Schenn's potential involvement in the deal adds an intriguing layer to the negotiations. Schenn, a versatile forward, has shown flashes of brilliance but has been inconsistent at times. If the Leafs are able to land him, it could be a great opportunity for both the player and the team to find success together. Schenn's physicality, two-way game, and leadership could be exactly what the Leafs need to bolster their forward group. While the trade market can be volatile and unpredictable, these rumors suggest that both the Kings and Leafs are preparing for significant changes. For Toronto, this could mark the beginning of a new era, with a focus on adding more experience and depth. For Los Angeles, the trade could be a chance to retool and address some of the weaknesses in their lineup, while still competing for a playoff spot this season. Of course, as with any trade rumors, it's important to remember that these discussions are fluid and can evolve quickly. There are many moving parts in these types of negotiations, and both teams will likely have to weigh their options carefully before making any final decisions. It's also possible that other teams could enter the fray, further complicating the situation. In the coming days, fans of both teams will be watching closely to see if any concrete moves are made. The NHL trade deadline is fast approaching, and teams are scrambling to position themselves for a successful postseason. Whether this rumored deal materializes or not, the possibility of a major trade between the Leafs and Kings will certainly keep fans on edge as the season continues to unfold. The trade talks involving Versteeg, Boschman, and potentially Simmons or Shen highlight the delicate balance that NHL teams must strike between immediate success and long-term growth. Both the Leafs and Kings are trying to find that balance, and this rumored deal could ultimately serve as a